The home of Portland City Councilor Candace Avalos set on fire over the weekend. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz is going to join us live here with the latest.
And Congress is requesting to hear from the NBA by Friday over the gambling investigation that led to the arrest of Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups. We will have the latest coming up at 7:30. Plus,
we had a couple trees down on Sand Ridge. We had, I think there was a tree on Pacific, which is the main road up to where we're at.
From down trees and power lines to a water spout off the coast, we're going to take a look back at what was a wild weather weekend. Sunrise streaming live here at 7 o'clock starts right now.
a wild weather weekend.
What?
Glad you had to read that instead of me. Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 7 o'clock. I'm China Green.
A different kind of WWW. I'm Drew Carney. This is Rod Hill and Chris McGinnis talking weather and traffic. So yeah, wild weather weekend, Rod, and we have some more weather to talk about this morning.
Yeah, so real quick, everybody look at this. This is the first time the camera is situated and it's light enough that we can see the piles of snow up at Timberline that have been, plowed. So clearly they got a lot of snow, right? By my estimates is that Timberline and Meadows both have picked up about 20 inches of snow all total. It was rain Friday, so it started to snow up there Saturday. About 8 inches of that came down just last night. Temperatures are in the 20s. There is some snow over the passes this morning as well. Early morning snow levels at 3,000 feet, so that's impactful. We have an impact alert up for the valley for these heavy rain showers that are coming through. Right now we've got it up through the morning commute hours of 9 a.m. Now it's scattered, so there hasn't been a lot of rain north of the Sunset Highway, if you will. It hasn't been much rain up around Longview. But from McMinnville, Canby, and the downtown Portland off to the east side, it's been one heavy hit of rain after another. Downtown Portland currently dry, but there's some heavy rain down around Oregon City and Clackamas. This is all pushing off to the east. So again, we have the impact alert for these heavy rain cells that just continue to come through in scattered locations. 46 is the number. Once we get past 9 a.m., both the number of showers and the intensity of showers should start to fade away. And eventually this afternoon, just mainly dry, partly cloudy, light winds, and 56. So a rough start, but a pretty nice finish to your Monday. Here's Chris.
Rod, my unofficial count of fender benders or more serious crashes this morning is already up to 9. Here's the most, let me get you a different perspective here. The most significant one that we have right now is I-205 northbound going through the Westland area up near, okay, we'll get back to that in a second. This is one in the Twilliger Curves. A car that looks like it's spun out and it's facing the wrong direction here, and that's adding to some northbound slowing going through the Twilliger Curves. There's the headlights there in that shot. The more serious one at this point is on I-205, and I lost that camera. Let's see if we can get it back here. Door number 3 should take us there. There we go. All right, this is the situation on I-205 near Stafford Road. I'm working to get more details right now. It looks like northbound traffic might be scooting by in the left lane at this point or over on the left shoulder. Otherwise, 205 northbound is really stacked up from Stafford Road, inching back towards the I-5 interchange in Tualatin. Guys, we'll keep you posted on this, but obviously it's already been a rough morning on the roads with rain and now some significant slowing on the freeways. Back to you.
Thank you, Chris. We have breaking news that we are continuing to follow this morning in North Portland. Portland Fire and Rescue crews are on the scene of a fire at Jopwood Recycling on North Lombard Street. So this is a live look right now. The fire department posted on X that the fire involves wood pallets. They upgraded this incident to a 2-alarm fire due to heavy fire conditions, but say it's now under control and no one was hurt.
Storms over the weekend caused a lot of power outages around the area. Pacific Power said it had more than 200 crews out on Saturday alone working to restore people's power. That work apparently paid off because Pacific Power is reporting no outages this morning. Better news for PGE customers as well. Earlier this morning, we were talking about 800 PGE outages, but that number is down to just over 20. The peak for PGE customers came Saturday afternoon when there were nearly 40,000 without power. Corporate Fire, meanwhile, shared these photos of downed power lines on Saturday. Southeast Gordon Creek Road was shut down from Trout Creek Road to the county line while crews worked to make sure that that stretch of road, that is, was safe again for drivers.
And check out these images shared on social by the Longview Fire Department. They say that they've responded to multiple incidents of downed trees and power lines across town over the weekend. It's in one instance, a large tree, fell on a home. Thankfully, no one was hurt there.
An outdoor Halloween event south of Tacoma turned deadly over the weekend when a tree fell on top of several event booths. This happened at the Haunted Witches Market in the town of Roy. A 31-year-old man died and 6 other people were trapped under the tree. 3 of them had to go to the hospital.
Sounded like lightning, and then the tree fell and everyone started screaming, started running.
Organizers say they've held previous events on days that were rainier and windier without any issues.
Portland fire officials are investigating a possible case of arson after the home of City Councilor Candace Avalos was set on fire early Sunday morning. Avalos says that she woke up to her car, her home, and carport on fire.
Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz is covering this story for us this morning. So, Thomas, what else do we know at this point?
Yeah, well, guys, Portland firefighters say this all started Sunday morning around 2:40. The investigation is being investigated as an arson, though thankfully nobody was hurt. When firefighters arrived on scene, they say that they found several cars and the home on fire. City Councilor Candace Avalos tells us she is thankful for the quick action from firefighters. She was able to get out safely along with her cat, Valentino. Avalos is being supported by friends, neighbors, and loved ones, she says, while she figures out what comes next. Mayor Keith Wilson and the rest of the city council put out a statement about this saying, quote, "As public servants, we each step forward to serve Portland, and today we stand united in support of our colleague. We are working closely with Councilor Avalos to provide her with the resources and security she needs." Once again, Portland Fire is continuing to investigate this. No arrests have been made, though they are investigating this as an arson. Anybody with information about this is urged to contact them. Drew, China.
All right, Thomas Schultz with the latest for us there this morning. Meanwhile, we're also talking about deputies in Clark County who are looking for the person they say shot and killed a man in the parking lot of an apartment complex in Northeast Vancouver. Investigators say the man was found dead in the front seat of a car near Northeast 19th Avenue and 94th Street just before 8 o'clock Sunday morning. This is a look at that apartment complex. Witnesses say they saw 2 men wearing masks going back and forth between the victim's car and a red Lexus before they took off and headed south on I-5. Deputies are looking for a dark red Lexus ES 350 with a shattered rear window and rear end damage.
Police in Vancouver are looking for a man they say assaulted a woman jogging Sunday morning. Just after 7 a.m., the woman told police that a man on a bike rode up to her where she was jogging on Southeast 99th Avenue in Vancouver. She says she was knocked to the ground and the guy assaulted her. She was able to fight him off, but he got away on his bike. So they say that they are looking for a younger man who was wearing black jeans and a gray hoodie.
Police say someone crashed into one of their cars during a street takeover in Northeast Portland on Saturday night. This was at the intersection of Multnomah and Interstate. We don't know if anyone was hurt, but police say they did arrest the driver who crashed into the police car.
Saturday's rain didn't stop Portlanders from celebrating Halloween at the Portland Saturday Market along the South Waterfront. Costumes, candy, and crafts took center stage during the market's annual Extravaganza. Families stopped by to make creepy crafts, trick or treat, and shop from business owners who were also dressed up while getting a jump on their holiday shopping.
I'm always so excited when I see our vendors. Our vendors love being involved, whether it's passing out candy, donating. I had probably 50 vendors donate to the Boo Basket I was doing. A bunch of them today are dressed up. Even though it's rainy, they still came out in full force to do this event and support us all, which is super great.
The market teamed up with Portland Pickles and the local nonprofit Reclaim to put on the event. Organizers say it drew more than 50 local vendors and dozens of community members.
All right, Rod Hill.
They're all so happy in that story. I love that video, Drew. It's our happy video this morning.
Yeah, people were smiling all over the place this weekend. What I could see, despite the rain, there were good times we had. My goodness, I went to that Ducks game I told you guys about. It's only the second time probably in the last 7 years I've gone to a Ducks game. And it was raining like no other sporting event I've ever been to.
Oh, wow.
Everyone smiling, having a great time, high-fiving, cheering, clapping.
And it was full like you would expect Autzen to be, right?
At least at the beginning.
Yeah.
At least at the beginning.
It was.
The weather actually got worse, believe it or not, as the game went on.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah. I know Wisconsin was complaining about the weather, apparently.
They're not a very good football team.
Apparently. Well, they didn't get blown out, but they couldn't score much. All right, we have an impact alert up through 9 o'clock this morning for heavy rain showers that just keep coming through the area in scattered locations. So maybe it's your place. It's been pretty quiet this morning, but other locations have been just hit one after another. Oregon City, McMinnville, downtown Portland's had several heavy shots of rain this morning. Not much wind, just heavy rain. Again, up through 9 o'clock this morning. Chris has been reporting a lot of accidents on the roadways this morning that could be tied to the weather itself. Reminder that we had wind over the weekend, and maybe you're finding some debris on roadways out there that you need to keep an eye out for, especially until it starts to brighten up in the daylight hours. So here's the radar right now. It's been pretty quiet up around Astoria, some light showers, pretty quiet in Longview. Again, this has been the area, McMinnville, Canby, up into Portland, out into the east side. We've got snow at 3,000 feet up into the Cascades this morning. So right now, coming into Portland, unless you're coming in from this area down the Clackamas area, it's pretty quiet. And again, all this rain. Sandy, good morning. Going to be raining for you for a little while right now. That's all moving off to the east and will soon become more snow up in the Cascades. Salem live camera for you, 44 degrees, south winds at 10. Again, the wind isn't bad. Here's downtown Portland, 46 degrees, light southeast winds out at PDX, 43 up in Kelso. 19 out in Burns. This is a dry, sunny day east of the Cascades today. Futurecast shows at 9 o'clock this morning the showers really starting to wind down. So again, the impact alert up through 9 a.m. Eventually, we will become just mainly dry today, partly cloudy and 56. The next shot of rain is basically Tuesday overnight. So if that's the case, Tuesday day would be dry, Wednesday day would be dry. Thursday looks sunny, really nice with an east wind. And then rain is expected to return on Halloween. That would set up a rainy Friday night for the trick-or-treaters and ghosts and goblins, and that would go into Saturday. Hey, we hope you can join us here on Sunrise Wednesday. We're going to do my winter outlook at 6:45 and again during our stream at 8:45. This will be roughly 4 minutes of me going way beyond, is it going to be wet or not? No, we're going to get into when we think the best chances for any significant storms to hit, what those storms will look like, what the snow season will look like up on the mountain. What else did I look at? I do have a pretty good idea if we're going to get a winter storm, which month it's going to be. And guys, last winter, 3 inches fell in February. I think we get more than that this winter. I have pretty good confidence we will. Back to you.
Rod, thanks for that. We pick it up with another traffic alert. This one north of Tualatin heading into Oregon City on I-205 northbound. This is near Stafford Road, and it looks like emergency crews are still just letting the left lane or the left shoulder go by here on I-205. No word on the extent of any injuries with this crash, but 205 northbound right now is really backed up from the I-5 interchange up around that crash scene near Stafford Road. A couple of other slow spots this morning. As we've mentioned, we've counted unofficially about 9 crashes or fender benders this morning. This is another one of them on northbound I-5 in the Terwilliger curves. Looks like a car got spun out. It's facing the wrong direction. And obviously it's got northbound I-5 traffic running a little extra busy this morning and riding the brakes pretty hard, of course, on the Sunset as well. Last but not least, the trip out of Clark County. I-205 is okay. The I-5 drive, though, a solid 20 minutes now or close to it to get you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Drew?
All right, Chris, thank you.
Started blowing our furniture around on the porch, so we just pulled everything in.
Down trees, power lines, and a water spout off the coast. We're going to continue this morning's top story all about this weekend's weather and what to expect moving forward when sunrise continues after this.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Saturday's stormy weather caused widespread damage all across the area and lots of power outages.
KGW's Jake Holter got a look at the damage and spoke with people who saw the power of the storm firsthand.
Trees falling down, fences ripped up, and even a water spout. Saturday's storm bringing high winds to the Pacific Northwest.
We were seeing some wind speeds around 60 miles an hour in Astoria, and then some of our windier spots. And then inland, we were closer to about 40 miles an hour. But it was really pocketed. So if you had a shower that moved through, you had those gusty outflow winds.
Those winds even knocking a tree into a house in Albany and uprooting trees in Longview and Dodge Park. Teresa Lynch down in Lebanon watched from her window as a tree near her house was ripped apart.
Part of the tree actually came off with some of the branches. And so the mark in the tree is probably about 20 to 20 feet long. And the branches, when they fell, they took a whole lane of traffic.
And on the coast in Ocean Park, a small waterspout appeared in the Pacific.
It was pretty cool. And, cool because it was offshore and didn't hurt anybody.
Shannon Mickey sharing her experience with the storm.
It started blowing our furniture around on the porch, so we just pulled everything in. But we had a couple trees down on Sand Ridge. And we had, I think there was a tree on Pacific, which is the main road up to where we're at. Power went out.
National Weather Service meteorologist Rebecca Muesley explains the importance of residents sending in damage reports if they are affected at all by storms.
When we get our reports from the public, we're able to not only verify our warnings, but also map where the damage was. Then when we have a similar weather pattern that comes in, we can go back to the events that we've had, determine how much damage we could have, and then that really helps shape future forecasts.
Jake Holter, KGW News.
The Weather Service, I think it was Friday, late day, put out a really interesting discussion. This was ahead of that second front that was coming in Saturday afternoon around 2 o'clock. That was the one that brought most of the wind. And they talked about how we had this jet stream at 30,000 feet. The winds were like 240 miles per hour, strong jet, just zipping overhead. And they talked about how because of that, that's what a jet stream sounds like. You didn't know that, did you? Because of that.
It's adorable.
That they were worried about that there could be enough vertical mixing, which basically means some of that high wind would shoot down in little pockets around the valley. And some of those heavy rain cells, which Rebecca talked about, produce 60 mile per hour winds. And, we had tree damage because of that.
See, I thought the jet stream sounded like...
See, it doesn't. See, you learned something today, didn't you?
Thank you, Rod.
Yeah, sure. All right, here's a look at after the sound of the jet stream and Rebecca's report from the Weather Service. Thank you for your work over there, of course. This is a pretty tame report. This is from some of the main reporting sites. So total rainfall Friday, Saturday through Sunday, 5 p.m. And of course, you added to it since then. But through 5 p.m. yesterday, Portland only 1.49. I say only because it seemed like it rained a lot. Peak wind gust at PDX Saturday was 44. Peak wind gust at Salem McNary Saturday was 45, 1.57. Now, a story like the models said, over 3 inches, 3.48. The airport, 51 miles per hour Saturday. But then we had reports of 2,000 feet in elevation in the Coast Range in Polk County of winds gusting over 60. And then we had thunderstorms of heavy rain cells that popped over 50 and in some cases maybe over 60 miles per hour with hail. And we did have the falling snow levels overnight Saturday night into yesterday. Although yesterday the passes just stayed kind of wet. And then since then it's really dumped. So take a look at this. This is plowed snow a lot at Timberline. It's still coming down. 3,000 foot snow level this morning, 26 degrees, 18 to 20 inches is the report at Meadows and Timberline. More like 6-7 inches of snow in the base area at Ski Bowl. And there's Government Camp, 33 degrees with some snow on the road, but the temperatures will rise today. And I think as we get the sun up and we go into midday, Government Camp will just be wet. Now it is a snow-covered Santee Ann Pass, 29 degrees, but the pavement's pretty good, 24. Willamette Pass at 5,000 feet. All right, so check conditions before you go up into high country. Been pretty quiet. Longview, Astoria, just a few showers, but still heavy rain pockets coming inland along the central coast, moving up through McMinnville. Right now, Portland's dry, but we could have more heavy rain showers to come. Right now, the current batch of heavy rain that's been moving through is starting to exit 205. Sandy, you're kind of right in the middle of it right now. Look at all the birds. Good grief. That's kind of cool looking. That is really cool looking, right? There's a wet look at I-5 and the Motor Center from our Rose City camera. We have the impact alert up through 9 a.m. this morning for these heavy rain cells and showers that keep moving through the area. Chris has been reporting a lot of messy spots on the roads. His traffic report's coming up here in just a second. There's how wet it is on the ground up in the West Hills from the Oregon Zoo. There's not much wind out there. We're just dealing with these heavy rain showers that keep coming and going, and they're definitely putting some difficult spots in our morning commute. 46 in Portland, 19 out in Burns. It's a dry, mainly sunny day east of the Cascades. Futurecast shows once we get through 9 o'clock this morning, the number of showers tapers off, the intensity tapers off, and then we're mainly dry Tuesday day. We have passing rain into Portland. This is Tuesday night. Here it comes Tuesday overnight, boom, through. And then if that's the case, Wednesday could be all dry. And then it still looks like the Nick system coming in is on Halloween day. So impact alert through 9 a.m. But later today, mainly dry, partly cloudy in 56. A mainly dry Tuesday day, a Wednesday day, dry, Thursday sunny. Rain gets going again for Halloween into the night and into Saturday. Okay, Chris, I know you're busy this morning.
Yeah, it's been a busy morning. Another traffic alert that we've been following on 205 between Tualatin and Oregon City. It looks like this crash has been cleared to the shoulder near Stafford Road. You can see the flashing lights there off in the distance. However, there's a really significant backup. This is back to just east of the I-205, I-5 interchange. So 205 is moving again northbound, but it's really slow through this stretch specifically. And to Rod's earlier point, yeah, it's been busy. We've unofficially counted 9 crashes or fender benders on our commute so far this morning. Here's the latest one. Just clearing now in the Terwilliger curves. That crash out of the way, but you can see the northbound traffic running pretty slow on the wet roads this morning. You're driving from Wilsonville up to about 34 minutes. The trip in from Troutdale, 32, and at last check coming in from Hillsborough on the inbound Sunset. Now that has bounced up to 27 minutes at last check. China?
Thank you, Chris. President Trump touches down in Japan as his Asia tour takes a turn towards trade talks with China. Next on Sunrise, what the White House is saying about a possible deal.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
President Trump is in Japan this morning for the next stop on his 3-country tour of Asia.
It's all leading up to a highly anticipated meeting with China's president over a critical trade deal. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest.
President Trump arriving in Japan this morning for the second leg of his Asia tour. The trip set to culminate in a meeting Thursday in South Korea with Chinese President Xi Jinping amid an apparent breakthrough in high-stakes trade talks.
I think we're going to have a good deal with China, and they want to make a deal.
Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent on NBC's Meet the Press announcing a framework for a trade deal to avoid President Trump's threatened 100% tariff increase on Chinese imports to the U.S.
I believe we've reached a very substantial framework that will avoid that and allow us to discuss many other things with the Chinese.
Inking a deal would help to wind down the trade war between the world's two biggest economies, while at the same time tensions ratcheting up with one of America's closest allies.
Canada has been ripping us off for a long time. One of the most difficult countries to deal with has been Canada.
President Trump doubling down on slapping an additional 10% tariff on goods coming in from Canada because of an anti-tariff Government of Ontario TV ad featuring segments edited from a 1987 radio address by President Reagan.
America's jobs and growth are at stake.
The ad ran during the World Series over the weekend, but Ontario's premier says it will stop today. No meeting over the weekend when Canada's Prime Minister and President Trump were both in Malaysia for a trade summit, leaving a mixed picture on trade as American businesses and consumers wait for the impact on prices at home. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Coming up in the next half hour, a look at the federal funding that could bring millions of dollars to help with medical care in rural areas, including rural parts of Oregon. Also at 7:30, a look at the new technology that aims to give NFL football fans the feeling of being right on the field. The Sunrise Show, streaming live here at 7 o'clock, continues after this.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
Notice the red color alert. We have an impact alert up through 9 a.m. this morning for these heavy showers that keep coming through, where it's just been absolutely pouring in different locations. Now, right now, the first kind of lull in the action for downtown Portland. We still have the rain and sandy, and that's moving off to the east. There could still be some more heavy scattered showers to come. Here's the Chehalem tasting room camera out in Sherwood. We're at 46 degrees. Once we get through 9 o'clock, the number of showers should start to decrease, and the intensity decreases as well. Later today, pretty quiet. And 56. Here is Chris McGinnis.
Rod, we've had unofficially at least 10 crashes or fender benders for our morning commute so far. This appears to be the most significant. I-205 northbound, a truck crashed near Stafford Road. Now, the good news is that crash has been cleared to the shoulder. No word on any injuries at this point, but the traffic is stacked up almost back to the I-205, I-5 interchange. So be aware of that as you make your way out the door. Lots of other slow spots out there. There's a quick look at the Banfield, by the way. The taillights there, that's out near 82nd Avenue. That westbound I-84 commute has jumped up to nearly 40 minutes at last check.
Good morning. We are taking a live look from our Vancouver waterfront skycam, where we were continuing to see heavy showers around the area after storms battered the region over the weekend.
All right, Sunrise meteorologist Rod Hill joins us here at the top of the 7:30 half hour to talk more about today's KGW weather impact alert.
Well, we've had a lot of heavy rain showers continue to move through the area this morning. This is the tail end of what happened over the weekend. We're just waiting for everything to finally shut off. I think once we get past 9 o'clock this morning, the number of showers will noticeably become fewer, more widely scattered, and the intensity of the heavy downpours will start to disappear as well. But we do have an impact alert up through the commute hours of 9 a.m. Now, with that said, right now, more rain coming on shore south of Tillamook. Here's a heavy rain shower area around Sandy, but coming into downtown Portland, it's actually the quietest it's been all morning weather-wise. In fact, we're going to be dry for a little while, it looks like. Well, this is pretty, isn't it? We just have the absolute prime color period now going on in our state. There's our Salem live camera, 44 degrees. You see the wet roadways. Here's the wet I-5 drive looking up north of the Moda Center, 46. Not much wind, just the heavy rain showers. Again, the impact alert expiring at 9 this morning. Eventually today, I think has a good chance just to become totally dry. So it'll be light winds, partly cloudy, and 56. At 5 p.m. Here's Chris.
Rod, it's been a really busy morning out there on the roads. At least 10 fender benders or crashes by my unofficial count, and the drive is quite slow this morning. There's I-84, by the way, out near 82nd Avenue. The taillights really lining up here. That inbound I-84 drive now hovering around 38 to 40 minutes from Troutdale. The Sunset has jumped up to nearly 35 minutes at last check. And one big trouble spot we've been watching for the last 45 minutes or so, this I-205 northbound near Stafford Road. ODOT reporting a crash involving a truck. The road was closed, at least briefly this morning, as they got that moved to the shoulder. So northbound 205 is moving again, but really slowly. You can see the lineup extends back westward almost towards the I-5-205 interchange. So you'll get through here, but just lots of extra time needed on that commute. And really with all the rain that we've had in pockets this morning, the drive is in some cases pretty slow. True?
All right, thank you, Chris. Let's get back to our top story here at 7:30. We continue to monitor the ICE facility in South Portland and the ongoing protests outside the building. Portland police say they made 2 arrests there last night for harassment. We saw a smaller crowd on Saturday, but police say they still arrested 3 people that day, including 2 accused of repeatedly blocking traffic. We're also waiting for updates on the possible deployment of the National Guard to Portland. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals put its most recent ruling, that is, on hold. That's the one where a 3-judge panel cleared the way for Guard deployment here. But again, that ruling is on hold while the court decides whether a larger panel of judges should hear the case. Meanwhile, federal judge Karen Immergitt here in Portland is deciding whether or not to lift the second temporary restraining order that's currently blocking troop deployment. She indicated a decision by today could come, but considering what's happening with the Ninth Circuit Court, her ruling could also remain on hold.
African-American leaders from our region met in Portland on Saturday to talk about everything from ICE and the potential National Guard deployment to potential cuts to programs like SNAP benefits. KGW's Jake Holter was at that town hall and has the details.
I heard the other day that Portland was burning. I want you to know that the message back to Washington, D.C. is that Portland is burning. We're burning with love. We're burning with compassion. We're burning with brotherhood. We're burning with sisterhood.
Black community leaders, troubled by recent events both here in Portland and nationally, invited folks to a town hall to hear from the community directly.
People all the time who are losing hope, who are feeling despair, who are already defeated in the onslaught which has just begun. So I'd like to hear from you ideas on how you and we can inspire one another to participate, to vote, to have a vision.
If your church is not sending kids to an apprentice program or sending them to college or helping them get through elementary school and telling them like word is bond that you can do it, If you're not doing that, you're not investing in hope.
Congresswoman Janelle Bynum, sworn in this year, is Oregon's first elected black member of Congress.
We shouldn't normalize the chaos is the first thing that I would share with everyone. It is really important for us to stay grounded in the things that matter. It is important for us to all have housing. It is important for our kids to have opportunity, that they can look forward to being able to stay here, learn here, grow up here in Oregon. And we need to make sure that every American has access to health care. These are the things that are essential to living a full and prosperous life, and we can't let the president's actions deter us from staying focused on what's important.
And with the government still shut down, hundreds of thousands of Oregonians are at risk of losing their SNAP benefits.
We have the highest disparities on every level of education, health care, being able to have access to capital for jobs and businesses. And so we're going to get hit the worst.
Portland City Councilor Loretta Smith also with a message to the looming National Guard deployment.
We don't need them. We didn't ask for them. We are a peaceful protesting community.
A small number of protesters again gathering in South Waterfront Saturday afternoon.
We must resist injustice.
Dr. Leroy Haynes Jr. saying the protests are reminiscent of when he fought for civil rights back in the 1960s.
But the beauty of the similarity is that they are willing to resist the rise of authoritarianism.
Jay Coulter, KGW News.
The president of OHSU says he's hopeful billions of dollars will come to Oregon through a new federal grant program as Medicaid faces some deep cuts.
Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz is covering the story from OHSU's campus. So Thomas, break down what this grant program could mean for Oregon.
Yeah, well, guys, this is money for rural health care. Over the past few decades, there's been less general care in rural areas as there's been more of a push towards specialization in care. Specialists are generally in larger population areas like Portland in urban areas. Over the past few years, in part because of that change, we've seen rural health clinics close in our area in places like Welch's, Sheridan, and Lincoln City. That's left thousands of people without a doctor nearby. The Trump administration is spearheading a new program which would provide $50 billion in funding for rural communities. That money is meant to provide sustainable access to care and attract and retain healthcare workers. It's also intended to spark technology innovation. OHSU President Dr. Sharif Elnahal says he hopes that funding can be used here in Oregon and adds that he's hopeful political rifts between the Trump administration and Oregon's Democratic government don't get in the way.
On the merits, we have the communities in Oregon who that policy was meant to support. And I just hope that politics don't get in the way of getting the resources to rural Oregonians that they deserve.
So still a lot to be decided. It's not clear exactly how much Oregon could receive in this funding, if it does receive funding, or how that money would be dispersed across the state. Drew, China.
Thomas Schultz live for us this morning at OHSU.
There's nothing more important to the league and its fans than the integrity of the competition, and so I had a pit in my stomach.
That was NBA Commissioner Adam Silver speaking out for the first time since the FBI arrested Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups and dozens of others on gambling charges. Meanwhile, a group of congressional lawmakers in D.C. say they want to hear from Silver about those charges. The FBI arrested more than 30 people last Thursday, including Billups. He's indicted in connection with 2 separate federal gambling investigations. 6 members of Congress asked the NBA's commissioner to provide them with a briefing by this Friday. That group also asked Silver to explain the actions the league intends to take to limit inside information being used for illegal purposes, to evaluate whether the NBA's code of conduct for players and coaches effectively prohibits illegal activity, and to outline whether and how the league is reevaluating its existing partnerships with sports betting companies. All right, before we get back to Rod and his local forecast, how about this live look at the Cayman Islands this morning? This is courtesy of EarthCam as Hurricane Melissa moves west as a Category 5 hurricane. It has already claimed at least 4 lives in the Caribbean. This next video shows the rough surf and storm surge that the storm is bringing to Jamaica. In fact, it's projected to be the strongest storm ever recorded on the island.
I saw the imaging. What do you call that when it looks like that behind you? Radar.
Yeah, radar is all I've got. Is that okay? By the way, important to note, the track of Melissa right now, because of deep troughing and storms over the southeastern U.S., is expected to start, once it passes through Jamaica, unfortunately cuts over that island, it's expected to curve back out to the east and then run northward and stay offshore from the U.S. mainland. So that's the latest on that track right now, but a massive Category 5 storm. All eyes are on Melissa, needless to say. Here is, back to what China was pointing at, the radar. Biggest lull in the rain for downtown Portland since I got to work this morning around 4 o'clock. We'll see where this batch of heavy rain comes in, if this intensifies. This has been kind of the entrance area all morning, and if it holds together and gets stronger, it could pop back up into Portland. We have the impact alert up through 9 a.m. this morning. After that, I think our weather quickly fizzles out, and we should just become mainly dry this afternoon. The blue is snow down to 3,000 feet up in the Cascades. Again, coming in to downtown Portland right now. Lull in the action. We are all dry. Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City. Cloudy skies, 48 degrees. Nobody's really reporting much of any wind. Here's the Chehalem Tasting Room camera out in Sherwood. And again, the vineyard's all showing off the fall foliage of the grapevines as well. Really pretty shot. 43 is the number. We're all kind of hanging out low to mid 40s for the most part. Forest Grove, good morning. You are down to 39 right now, but it's 45 in Wilsonville and it's 44 in Salem. Dallas, good morning, also down to 39. Here's Josie, our KGW pet of the day. We've transitioned from dog of the day, a lot of you have been asking us to do this, to pet of the day. Now we do have a dog this morning. There's Josie all dressed up for Halloween, but the new address is petoftheday@kgw.com. Send us your pet's photo, name, can be anything, donkey, whatever, and they'll be our dog, our pet of the day, our pet of the day. All right. Dry and mostly sunny central and eastern areas of our state today, decreasing showers, becoming mainly dry on the west side. And then the next batch of rain is mainly Tuesday overnight. So this afternoon, mainly dry. Tomorrow, daytime, mainly dry. Wednesday, daytime dry. Thursday, sunny. And then the next shot of rain comes in Halloween day. Okay, we hope you can join us here on Sunrise Wednesday. During our first couple of hours, we'll do it at 6:45. Here on the stream, we'll do it at 8:45. My complete winter outlook, getting into if it's going to be a similar winter to last season. Are we going to have a big snowstorm? If so, when would it come? Or is it going to be ice this winter? What's the snowpack look like up in the Cascades? What are the temperatures doing? What about this La Nina cycle that we are now in? All of that, we really get into tremendous amounts of detail. In the last couple of years, we've been amazingly accurate. We'll see if we can do it again this year. That's coming up Wednesday. Chris?
Rod, in the short term, it has been a rough morning on the roads. This is, by my unofficial count, crash or fender bender number 11 that we've been tracking so far this morning in the Oregon City area. Not on camera, but you can see the drive that is slow on I-205 southbound near Highway 213. ODOT reporting the right lane and shoulder are tied up with that. That's got traffic running thick all the way back to Clackamas now. So you're going to need a few extra minutes to get around that. Earlier trouble on 205 northbound near Stafford Road, a crash involving a truck. The crash is out of the way. It's been moved to the shoulder, but the 205 northbound commute is still pretty heavy all the way back to the I-5 interchange. And as we look at various traffic cameras across the region, there are lots of slow spots. Earlier crash in the Twilliger Curves northbound, that's been cleared. 84 westbound, that's out near 82nd Avenue. That shot right there at the lower right-hand part of your screen, that has become especially slow. 50 minutes now slow to get you in from Troutdale west to the I-5 split.
All right, sounds good, Chris. Still to come here on the Sunrise Show, we're talking about new technology that takes you off the edge of your seat and onto the field. At least that's how the experience is supposed to feel for NFL fans. We'll have a closer look after this quick break.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yes.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
Let's talk a little football, China. There's a new way for NFL fans to experience their favorite team's games. It's supposed to make you feel like you're in the action.
Like right there with it.
In the action.
Like I can kick it.
Kick it.
Kick it.
Kick it.
Kick it. NBC's Steve Patterson gives us a look at the new technology putting football fans on the field. Okay.
Make no mistake, there's nothing quite like watching an NFL game at the stadium. But man, this has to be the next best thing. Welcome to Cosm.
What is the Cosm Dome?
You come in and it's like you're actually there, like you're at the game.
Using some seriously advanced tech, Cosm CEO Jeb Terry says the goal isn't just to bring the game to fans, it's immersing them in the magic of being there.
So this is it.
This is it. We're coming into the dome.
Yep.
This is the showstopper, right? And your face says it all. It's
Come
just,
on, because even this, right? It feels like I'm walking into my seat at the stadium.
CTO Devin Pullman says Cosm is leading the way in a larger trend, technology changing the way fans consume sports.
We're working week in and week out. We did over 400 live sporting events in the last year.
While Cosm brings people to the sidelines,
Perez going to the air.
Mindfly puts them right on the field for the first time.
That's Canella in motion on 1st down and 10.
This year, the company brought its POV cams to the players of the United Football League, hoping their take on live sports will recapture fans.
As you see there's the virtual measurement.
This NFL season, we've already seen new technology take the field. Sony's Hawkeye Instant Replay, changing the game itself and viewers' experience, replacing the traditional chain gang, which physically measured first downs. Back at Cosm,
the best way to watch a sport ever. So I've been to every Eagles game.
Fans say they're eager to come back for more immersive tech.
Is this the future of how we should be watching professional sports?
Look, there's nothing better than being at the game itself. There is an energy about a live sport and in that facility that we're not trying to replace and that we never will, right? But for other fans that can't be at this stadium, that can't go to the game, that want to come out and have a great experience, we don't think it's the future, we think it's the now.
A night in the stands, transporting fans in ways we never could have imagined. Steve Patterson, NBC News, Los Angeles.
The Eagles won that game, by the way. Moving on to this game, the Oregon Ducks set the tone for Saturday's tie-dye celebration in Eugene. He rode in on the VW Bug there. It was Grateful Ducks Day at Autzen Stadium, honoring the Grateful Dead who played at Autzen 10 times between 1974 and 1994. Yes, there was also a football game on Saturday. A wet, sloppy football game that the Ducks won, beating Wisconsin 21-7. Oregon has a bye this week before visiting the Iowa Hawkeyes on Saturday, November 8th. That's going to be a tough test for the Ducks because it is never easy to go into Iowa and play.
Iowa City, Hawkeyes always play physical defense.
Yep.
Their worst team plays physical defense. The question is whether or not they put up any points.
Well, they're also number one right now, right?
No, that's Indiana. Well, that's close to Indiana. You're thinking of Indiana.
Ohio
right?
State.
Ohio State's still number one.
Yeah.
Indiana's two. We're
I was
talking about Iowa.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Ohio State.
Yeah, Iowa.
Okay.
Yeah, Hawkeyes.
I thought
Iowa City's tough.
The other I school, Indiana.
Somehow I got lost in the conversation. Hey, here's a kind of a brief look at some of the airport location reporting sites. This shows you what happened Friday, Saturday, and then yesterday daytime through 5 p.m. rain-wise. The peak wind gusts were generally with that second front, which was backed up by a pretty good low pressure center that came in Saturday in like that 2 o'clock hour. That was the biggest wind burst we had overall for the weekend storm. Portland, again, to me, these amounts just seem low because it just rained at my house and rain, but 3-day amount of 1.49. Most of that, or the biggest chunk of it, fell on Friday. Had a peak gust of 44. Salem's peak gust Saturday was 45, 1.57 inches right now. Astoria, now we're talking 3.48 inches of rain, Peak gust at the airport there was 51, but we did have other sites along the coast report 60-mile-per-hour winds. And there's an elevation in the Coast Range in Polk County at about 2,000 feet that clocked over 60-mile-per-hour winds. And then we had the individual rain cells. Some of them had thunder and hail that produced gusty winds, in some cases over 50 to even 60 miles per hour, that did some tree damage in spotty locations, both Saturday and on Sunday. Hope you made it through everything okay at your place. Well, this is cool. This is the first for the season. We've been plowing snow, and look at the big pile up at Timberline Lodge. Actually, we paid someone else to do it. We didn't do it. 18 to 20 inches of new snow at Meadows and Timberline, and it looks like 6 to 7 inches in the base area of Ski Bowl. Now, the passes themselves, Highway 26 is not horrible. It's right about freezing, 32.7 degrees. Some light snow on the roadway, but this temperature will continue to go up, and by noon, this is probably just wet and A-OK. But Santiam, a different story, 29 degrees, absolutely snow-packed. Looks like January up there. So check conditions before you travel today up into the high country. Morning snow showers will taper down into flurries as temperatures rise during the day. First real lull in the action, downtown Portland dry right now. There's more rain, though, between Tillamook and McMinnville, and all of this is pushing off to the east-northeast. So could be another round of rain coming to Portland in the next hour or so. But right now, it's actually pretty quiet after a number of heavy rain showers have been coming in. Some fog. This is a cool look from the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club in Aloha. That's shallow fog with some rain in the area. 46 degrees out in Aloha. It's also 46 at PDX. 19 out in Burns. This is a mainly sunny day east of the Cascades. Decreasing scattered showers and becoming partly cloudy here on the west side. Futurecast shows this is 9 o'clock. Once we get through 9 a.m., the number of showers quickly dissipates and pretty much goes away. And like I said, we have a pretty good day coming up. So later on, it's going to be mainly just partly cloudy with a spotty shower threat, light winds. Salem 56, Corvallis up to 58. I've got Portland at 56. Impact alert will probably allow that to expire at 9 this morning. And then mainly dry later today. This is rain Tuesday overnight, so a mainly dry day Tuesday. Could be totally out of here by the time you wake up Wednesday. That'd be a dry Wednesday. A sunny Thursday. Dry start Friday, but then rain develops during the day. And of course, that's Halloween into a rainy Friday night for the trick-or-treaters, it looks like, into Saturday. Here's Chris McGinnis.
Rod, we are coming into the crux of the morning commute, and it is very slow out there. The drive from Wilsonville, nearly 40 minutes. The drive from Hillsborough, more than 40 minutes. And it's been almost a 50-minute commute now for the last little while on I-84 westbound from Troutdale. So here's the deal with that. No reports of any crashes on I-84. Just a really, really slow drive. That you can see on the lower right-hand part of your screen. A pair of fender benders on I-205. By my unofficial count, these are numbers 12 and 13 of our Monday morning commute. I-205 southbound running pretty thick to get down to Oregon City. There's the drive near Clackamas. You can see some activity there on the right shoulder. At least one right lane blocked, maybe two, and that's got the 205 South Drive really plugged up on the east side this morning.
Hey, I'm Blair Best, and tonight at 6:30 on The Story, the city of Portland continues to open overnight shelters while at the same time installing barriers and fencing to try and keep homeless camps from popping up in neighborhoods. But is it working? Watch The Story tonight live at 6:30 on KGW or anytime on our TV app, KGW+. Have a great morning, and I'll see you tonight.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
The Montevilla Farmers Market is finding creative ways to keep kids excited about eating local produce, even as it gets colder outside. The market launched its annual Power of Produce, or POP Club program on Sunday. The program gives kids a chance to taste test winter fruits and vegetables, and in return, they get Pop Bucks tokens to spend on more produce grown by local farmers. The POP Club runs every other Sunday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Montevilla Farmers Market in Southeast Portland.
The KGW Great Toy Drive will begin next week, so that means this week is your last chance to sign up as a collection site. If you're a local business or organization, maybe you're hosting a holiday event or a work party, all of you can help us out. Go to kgw.com/toy, and when you sign up, we will send you the official Great Toy Drive collection kit.
Coming up at 8 o'clock, we are continuing to track a KGW weather impact alert this morning. The impacts that we're seeing for your morning commute right now, plus the damage from storms over the weekend.
Also next hour, Congress says it wants to hear from the NBA by this Friday over the gambling investigation that led to the arrest of Blazers head coach Chauncey Billups. The latest on that story coming your way at 8:30.
The KGW